There's not any head coach in college football that hadn't gone through, many of these kind of decisions. You make 100 of them a day.
OU football is working to turn the page after Coach Cale Gundy stepped down after decades with the team.
Head coach Brent Venables today spoke publicly for the first time since Gundy's resignation. Barry Mangold is in Norman and kicks off our team coverage for us. Barry?
Yeah, Amanda, Carl, opening today's press conference, the first thing Venables said was that all that needs to be said has been said, referring to Gundy's statement that was released on Twitter Sunday and the two Venables has released since then. After that prompt, reporters asked about the impact of Gundy's departure and how the team is transitioning. Here's Venables.
There ain't not any perfect environment anywhere. But we've worked really hard to create an environment where these guys, again, do feel like it's a home and it's a family.
And Gundy resigned after reading a racially charged word off a player's iPad and repeating that word multiple times. Venables today did not say exactly what word Gundy repeated, but said in his statement that Gundy leaving is the right move. Gundy has been, of course, on the OU football coaching staff since 1999. Venables admitted that the timing is certainly not ideal with the season starting in just a few weeks, although he did say that the coaching staff's work on improving the team culture is well underway. And with Gundy out, LaDainian Washington will fill in as the interim wide receiver coach for the team, and he has a lot of work to do ahead of the start of the OU football season, which kicks off on September 3rd when OU hosts UTEP. Live in Norman, Barry Mangold, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
It's coming up quick. All right, Barry, thank you. More now on the shocking departure from the OU coaching staff. We got sports director Dean Blevins joining us, and Brent Venables, the Brent Venables era, since he arrived in Norman, it's been positive. Things have gone well. They've gotten recruits. It's been, fans are super excited. Does that help the team where they were at before this? Does that help them now get over what's going on?
Yeah, I think it does, Carl. I mean, the belief is the drama is not there with this bunch because it seems Venables has been the driving force to see these players improve. I'm talking about with discipline, togetherness, living with new priorities. That's what helps make this kind of bump in the road more manageable than otherwise. I've seen teams that are not selfless, that are in a culture where something like this would divide a team, which is the first way to see that team just come apart, disintegrate. Chemistry is as important as anything. This team had it and still has it. And whether you agree with Venables' decision to let Gundy go, you'd have to say the first-year coach was extremely effective. His communication skills just set him apart. From recruiting kids, their families, to meetings and on-the-field work, it was vital today, and it will be moving forward. Lots of people still prefer Cale Gundy still be on the staff, that Venables' decision was wrong. But I bet if you ask those people now, they'd say they understand what Venables was thinking and that the team will not be as negatively affected as first believed, possibly even more together.
If you're looking at the timeline of this, the alleged incident happened on Friday. Well, it happened on Friday, and then by Monday, Coach Cale Gundy was gone. How much of this kind of boils down, or how much did recruiting play into this to kind of get this out of the way and move forward? I mean, recruiting now is a 365-day-a-year job. So how much of that plays?
Hey, I think that's a great question. I do believe that Brent Venables would have made this decision regardless of anything, regardless of recruiting. No question, opponents will and have negatively recruited already. They'll use some of the things like the garbage information on Twitter out there today that was just ridiculous, that was out of line. But I personally believe since Venables is as good a communicator, as I said, especially with those families, he could have explained the situation away. It's worth noting his beloved mentor, Dabo Swinney, when he was at Clemson working for him, he had a similar situation with an assistant coach, but Dabo didn't fire the coach. In fact, he didn't even talk about it except on a 14-minute recording. Venables chose to go just the opposite, perhaps just a sign of how strongly he felt about his decision.
And a sign of the times, perhaps, as well.
Well, that's part of it, obviously.
Years ago, and this is now. All right, Dean, we appreciate your input. Thank you.
And we have more analysis from Dean, Lee, and also Dusty Dvorak on what this means for the Sooners coming up at 10:24 tonight. You can find Coach Venables' full conference and all of our team coverage on the News 9 app.